Yeah, we got some fucking good news for once in this wretched world. So what? In terms of the trio of Palestinian activists, I suppose. I don't know if Ramesa Öztürk is fucking if she was an activist or something. It doesn't matter what all she did wrong was like write an op-ed or something, supposedly wrong. But Ramesa got released. Mosa Madawi also got released, and the final boss, I suppose. The first who got detained was Mahmoud Khalil, and he has now, a federal judge has now ordered him to be released from ICE detention. So great, fantastic news. He has now been freed. 3 for 3 in terms of, I guess, Trump's losses for trying to detain activists, saying, like, guys, personally, I don't think you should turn Palestinian children to mulch. Now, I understand it's a controversial take. Kind of silly. It's kind of ridiculous to say, but probably shouldn't kill him. Kind of ridiculous. But what we got from Zeteo, from Premtikar. Mahmoud Khalil to be released from ICE detention. On Friday, a federal judge in New Jersey ordered Palestinian Columbia University student protester leader Mahmoud Khalil to be released from ICE detention on bail. Because quick reminder, what was his crime? He organized some fucking drum circles with weed smokers. Oh no, it's the end of the world. Surely this is the collapse of Western foreign policy apparatuses everywhere. It's fucking like. Do we need to go into like why the basis for as to why this fucking happened is completely stupid and ridiculous to begin with? Like, it's silly. Like I don't think there's really anything else that needs to be said here. It's very stupid. Yeah, he destroyed Western civilization with one drum beat. Yeah, he was just like, and that's it. It's the collapse. It's the end of Western civilization. Very cool. Khalil, a green card holder, was detained by mass immigration agents in the lobby of his Columbia-owned housing in March. Right? This was when his wife was still pregnant, was about to have their kid, and then he got fucking blackbagged and, detained and sent to an ICE detention facility, I believe in Missouri, I think is where they took him, if I recall correctly. Yeah, weak civilization, beat, like, one drum is all it took, and now it's fucking Jover, like, all of a sudden, you have to detain everyone and throw them in jail, and that's the end of civilization. It's ridiculous, obviously, right? Khalil's arrest was the first of a string of abductions that expanded into a much larger operation against student protesters and international students generally. The Trump administration targeted Khalil on the spurious and previously little tested grounds that he was compromising U.S. foreign policy, a determination made personally by Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Right, because that's one of the things he can do. I don't remember the name of the act, because, again, I'm really bad with names. There was a particular act saying that, okay, if, this person is determined to be culpable and responsible for causing issues for the U.S.'s foreign policy within a particular theater or whatever, they can be, detained and essentially deported out of the country. That was the basis that Marco Rubio was operating off of. Obviously, it was completely spurious and ridiculous. Again, what did Mahmoud Khalil do? Organize some fucking drum circles. That's all he did. He organized some fucking drum circles of student protesters who smoked a bunch of weed. And that's literally all they did. And they also did they did some chants and stuff. That's it. And that's a basis to fucking deport the guy out of the fucking country. It's ridiculous. Free speech and everything. We all know the meme. Khalil, as with other students and academics targeted in this way, was not accused of committing an actual crime. Friday's court order comes after the release of several other high-profile targets of the administration, including Mosa Madawi, Ramesa Öztürk, and Badar Khan Suri. I don't know, but I guess we're 4 for 4 now with the Trump administration. That's what's going on. 4 for 4. Damn. I knew it was bad for the Trump administration, but they're 0-4 now. I thought it was 0-3. Why would you look at that? Very cool. In early March, plainclothes agents arrested Khalil, telling him his visa had been revoked. He responded that he had a green card, which is true, right? If you have a green card, you don't need a fucking visa anymore, right? He's a permanent resident. The agents, confused, then said that was revoked too. Oh! All of a sudden, you just make that determination. Dude, that's how you know that these fucking dumbasses are just complete, like, dropout fucking morons and dipshits. And literally, the only point of this was just because Kristi Noem said, like, get that guy. Get that guy. You got that. You see that guy? Get that guy. Fuck that guy. And that was, like, the only point of, like, the only, like, determination that was being made there. It's fucking crazy. His attorney, Amy Greer, who was on the phone amid the chaos, demanded a warrant. Agents hung up on her instead. Yup, we all know the fucking video is fucking crazy. That's how you know there's just no legal basis for any of this at all. They just fucking blackbagged him, grabbed him, put him on a fucking truck to fucking get to Louisiana. ICE agents then took Khalil over 1,000 miles away from his home to a detention facility in Louisiana. After detaining Khalil, the government then frivolously threw on other allegations against him, including the intentionally misrepresented his employment history on his green card application. Right, so that's why the courts took as long as they took in order to sort of assess all these claims. Because of the fact that the Trump administration was literally, again, throwing so much shit on the fucking wall, trying to see what would fucking stick. Now, very similar, propagandistic strategies as the Russians. But hey, guess what? In comparison to the masses that the Russians tried to propagandize, you can easily convince, like, all the lumpen proletariat that exists amongst, like, the Trump base. They can fall for that, no problem. But are the judges going to fucking fall for that? They're not that corrupt in order to fall for that kind of fucking propaganda. Not yet, I suppose. But this is also the same shit that they're trying to do to Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And I have no doubt they also tried to do the same shit to Mosa Madawi, to Mesa Öztürk, and Badar Khan Suri. So, again, it's the same fucking strategy in terms of the propaganda here. It's ridiculous, dude. The government has admitted it did not have a warrant when it detained Khalil. It claimed it had the authority to arrest him anyhow, because it was likely he would escape before they could obtain a warrant. Ah, right. So, again, the thing is that you can just justify this to sort of, like, get anybody, right? You can just be like, so why did you have to arrest this citizen? Well, it would have taken too long to get a fucking warrant, and we thought that they could, like, run away to a different country by the time, we got a fucking warrant for it. You can, like, literally use this to justify any fucking arrest on the fucking planet. It's ridiculous. And because he was a flight risk. Sure, man. But security footage shows that Khalil was cooperating the entire time, even seeming to casually chat with the arresting agents. Bro was trying to rizz up the fucking ICE agents. That's crazy, dude. That's balls. That's balls right there. I respect that. During his time in detention, Khalil missed the birth of his first baby, as well as Columbia's graduation. ICE rejected his attempts to be detained closer to his wife and new child. Right, because again, the point is the fucking family separation. That's literally the point. They just want you to suffer. That's why they're doing this. The Trump administration doesn't need any particular reasonings. If they think that you're... They pull out the fucking pigment sheets, they see that they're just like, your skin color's a little too brown for my liking. I don't know. I gotta detain you and deport you now. That's basically the point. The cruelty is the point. It is to make people be afraid and fearful of the actions of the current administration in order to be like, well, solidify their own power and control. Make you fearful, make you afraid, so then they can manufacture consent to essentially do whatever the fuck they want. Khalil's case, as with the other targeted students, will continue, but it will continue with him free 3 months after his arrest from ICE detention. So the case is still going to be on. They're still going to probably determine whatever bumblefuck probable bullshit with, the Trump administration's spurious claims of Mahmoud Khalil, which are probably going to be complete bullshit, to see if, crazy, they're going to try to detain him again. Because, listen, they're not beneath this. They'll try to do it again. Like, come on. Let's keep it $1.50. If they could try to go for it again, they'll try to go for it again. So, I thought they were 0 for 3. I guess they're 0 for 4. Fantastic, excellent. But again, small victories against In this time of darkness, no time to celebrate. You take the wins that you can take, and again, all that can be really said at this point is it's great that all four have been freed. Mahmoud Khalil, Mosa Madawi, Rumeysa Öztürk, and Badar Khan Suri. I personally, all the other people that have been detained because of ICE wanted to fill out their stupid goddamn Gestapo quotas because of the Nazi egg who's getting cucked by Elon Musk, him and his non-white wife. Hey, Stephen Miller, I thought you cared about white genocide and stuff like that. Your fucking white's not wife. Makes you think, don't it? It's good that they're free. All the people that have been detained by the ICE Gestapo should also be freed. And fuck the Trump administration. They're all a bunch of authoritarian fucking goons and complete utter fucking hacks. Fuck those people.